Hi, so this video is just going to be kind of a back to school tips video from me. Just wanted to compile a few tips about back to school and getting started on the right foot. As you know, I'm going to be starting grad school soon, and whether you're starting grad school, going back to college, or maybe you're in middle school and high school, I feel like these are tips that will help you out to make sure that you have a great school year. If I look to my right, it's because my laptop is here and I have some notes. First thing is get organized. I love organization, but that's just me. I know some people, it's hard for them to get organized. They have their own way of getting organized, but I fully advise you to get organized before you even start school. And if you're already started school, take a weekend to kind of organize everything, especially your desk, your work area. If you have, or if you don't have a work area, organize, your school supplies. But if you have a work area, I fully recommend that you organize it so that it's functional once you do start school. That's what I'm currently doing. I'm currently organizing my desk so that, it's functional, but it also has stuff to motivate me to work. And I suggest that you have 2 notebooks for each class. One will be the one that you use to take like the notes in class when you're in class and you're listening to your professor or your teacher talk and you're looking at the PowerPoints. That's the notebook that you use to write in. And then a second notebook, it doesn't have to be like a big, 5 subject notebook. It can be like a mini notebook, like a journal notebook that you just rewrite your notes in so that they're legible and that they're easy to study from. So that will be your study notebook. Find motivation. I've been seeing a lot that people make motivation boards for their year or even just for in general. Like you can have a motivation board, a goal for that year or that semester or that, for a specific class of, what you're trying to reach for, and like put pictures and stuff like that. I'm sorry if you can hear that. Someone has a truck outside. But yeah, any kind of motivation. It can even be like career goal motivation. Like you are working hard for this. This is why you're doing it, and kind of put it in a place, put it in your study area, obviously, so that when you're studying, you can look at it and be like, okay, this is the reason why I'm studying. This is why I'm doing this, to kind of continuously motivate you. Stationery. School supplies. I know I just spoke about school supplies, but I feel like that's a great way of motivating, at least for me. I love personalized school supplies. I even during middle school, my binders never looked like anyone else's. My notebooks never looked like anyone else's because I would print out pictures of like singers that I liked. I would like back then I loved American Idol, and I would just print out pictures of people from American Idol, and I would print out pictures of like Dream Street and put them on my like binders, and it motivated me in some kind of way to do my homework, because it was like I wanted to grab my notebooks and look at them because I liked how they looked. They were cute. If it's just plain, you kind of just put it to the side. But if it's like nice looking, you kind of just want to look at it, and you're just like, I want to use this up, and I want to use this. I want to take notes in this. It doesn't have to be expensive. I know on Study Blur, it seems like everyone has a MacBook and Stablo and Stedler pens and Muji notebooks. You don't need that. You can just, honestly, you can go to Five Below, Walmart, the dollar store, and you can find so many cute school supplies. It's not like they have ugly stuff there. It's actually surprisingly cute and like nice. Like I've seen like mechanical pencils with really awesome designs on them. I've seen like really cool notebooks, like composition notebooks, and then like wire notebooks at the dollar store, and then they sell those too at Five Below. And like especially during back to school, they have specials like $3 for $5, and that's kind of awesome. I know Walmart has great specials too. Even DIY some of the stuff. Like I was saying, I used to print out pictures and put them on my notebook. You can buy the plain notebooks and then make covers yourself. So my next tip is to continuously review. I know it's kind of a popular thing to procrastinate, and it's cooler to not do your work on time, and I know I was like that too, but it's actually, it's beneficial for you to actually continuously review your work and what you're learning, because that's how it sticks better, and you'll honestly have an easier time studying for exams and tests if you continuously review. I'm not saying study 6 hours every day. I'm saying an hour a day of just reviewing the things that you did in the past. Ways to help you out is to figure out your learning style. I figured mine out by taking an inventory quiz. Just look up learning styles online and then take their inventory quiz, and it kind of analyzes, I guess, the best way for you to learn, because everyone is different. Everyone learns differently. Like some people, they're very visual. They have to make mind maps. They have to make like pretty notes. But for other people, it's just simple. Just writing it down is very easy for them. Or some people, they have to say it out loud in order for them to learn. Apparently for me, I'm very, I guess, musical. I don't know the correct term, but music really helps me to learn. And honestly, I think I've noticed that because sometimes I put what I'm learning into songs so that it's easy for me to learn. So one way to really to study better and learn better is the Pomodoro technique. You study for 30 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes like straight, like no distractions. You just study for 20 to 30 minutes straight, and then you take a 10 or 15 minute break, like go on Tumblr, go on Instagram, make a snack, take a break for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and then you go back another 20 to 30 minutes of studying, and then you have another 10 to 15 minute break. It's just like this on and off, and it's a really good way to study, because when you study just like a straight hour, like your mind is kind of like tired already, obviously, so that break kind of lets the information settle in. I know from the course they kind of had a great description of like studying. So when you're studying those 20 and 30 minutes, you're like building the bricks, you're putting the brick and mortar together, and then you let it dry. When you're on that break, you let it settle, and then you start studying again. You build up on top of it, then you let it settle. Because when you do the hour, you don't let it settle, and it kind of just falls apart. So yeah, having a break in between your studying is very good, and also less tiring. So use apps. Like, we live in a technological world, which is crazy, because there's so many apps out there that help you study, that help you there's flashcard apps. You don't have to have like physical flashcards anymore. You can have a flashcard app. There are quiz apps. There are apps, there are Pomodoro apps. There's cool apps, like I know there's one called Trees. I'm not sure if it's called Trees, or Forests or something like that, where basically you time yourself on how long you're studying, and then the more amount that you study, the more trees grow in your forest. So it's kind of cool. There's so many cool motivational study apps. But sleep is important when it comes to learning. So that means no all-nighters before an exam. Yes, you can actually, but studying, maybe reviewing some stuff at night before you sleep is good. But cramming everything into your brain, cramming an entire exam into your brain the night before is not good. Because surprisingly, to me it was surprising when I learned about it, but surprisingly, sleep helps you to remember things and recall things better. There's 3 steps in kind of helping you create a memory, or helping you store information into your mind when it comes to studying. So there's acquisition, which obviously, you know, when you're reviewing, when you're studying, you're acquiring that knowledge. Then there's consolidation, which is the process by which a memory becomes stable, and that's where sleep comes in. Sleep, I don't know the full science to it, but sleep actually helps a memory to consolidate. It helps it to become stable, and it also helps it to be better recalled, which is the third step, which means you're able to access that information instead of, like, you know, like how you remember your telephone number, you can recall that information. Sleep helps that memory, that information, to be consolidated and better to be recalled. Just do an all-nighter before an exam and don't sleep, you've wasted your time, honestly, because you haven't retained any of that information. Sure, you'll remember a tidbit or two, but you haven't fully retained that information to fully understand what you've learned and to fully do well on that exam. So no all-nighters. Sleep is important. Have for you is find a relaxing activity. I know that doesn't sound like a back-to-school tip, but it is. You can't study all the time. I know everyone thinks that to be the best at school you have to study like every single day, even on weekends, even on holidays, but that's not possible, because you're gonna break down overworked, and you can't possibly learn when your mind is just completely overworked. So find a relaxing activity, something that you like to do, something, not just Netflix. Okay, I fall into that trap too. Not just watching Netflix, something productive, something where you're doing something other than just lying on the bed. If you want to lie on the bed, read a book. That's something productive and relaxing, something that you enjoy, that's relaxing. If you can't think of anything right now, learn something, learn an instrument. Even if you're not good at it, something that will relax you, like knitting. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people are taking up knitting. I think that some hobbies or some activities are too expensive. I think I saw on Tumblr inexpensive hobbies that you can get into. It was a whole master post. For me, I really like arts and crafts kind of things, and I only recently realized that when I was making my Taylor Swift poster, because it had like lights in it, and I found it really relaxing. And I also like playing guitar. I'm not the best at it, but I like it, and it helps me to relax. Maybe you like reading, read. Maybe you like singing, even if you're not that good. Find karaoke's on YouTube and sing to it. Like, whatever you find that will relax you, as long as it's something. There's so many activities out there, like my mind can't like think of them because there's so many possibilities. Take up painting, even if you're not the best. If you just buy like Five Below watercolor paints, like, it's as simple as that. Whatever you find that you want to do on your free time to relax from studying, find it, because you're gonna need it. Because like I said, you can't study all the time. You can't. So find something relaxing so that you don't go crazy. I hope that helps, and I hope you guys have good first days back to school. And if you're already in school, I hope you had a good first week, first day, and that the rest of your school year goes well. So yeah, hope that helps. Bye.